announcements.
Honourable members, I have an announcement to make. My attention has been drawn to an interview given by the Honourable Juman to l'Express on Sunday, 5th November 2023. In the said interview, Honourable Juman is reported to have stated that the Honourable Minister of Health and Wellness met 3 religious persons in the committee room of the National Assembly when the Assembly was sitting on Tuesday last, whilst members of the opposition refused access to their offices for holding press conferences. Honourable members, the responsibility for the management of the buildings and the general administration of the Assembly chamber is vested in the Speaker pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 78. Honourable members are well aware that the 2 committee rooms of the National Assembly are meant exclusively for the holding of parliamentary committee meetings. Hence, requests for the use thereof for other purposes by members, both from the government and the opposition side, are not acceded to. I must point out that neither my office nor the office of the clerk was in presence of any request from the Honourable Minister of Health and Wellness for the use of any of the committee rooms of the National Assembly. Following the above press article, I caused an internal inquiry to be carried out. I have to report to the House that the internal inquiry has revealed that at no point in time did the Honourable Minister of Health and Wellness make use of any of the committee rooms of the National Assembly, of any of the committee rooms of the National Assembly on Tuesday last, which in any event remain closed at all times on sitting days. The inquiry has further revealed that in fact, the Honourable Minister of Health and Wellness made use of the conference room of the Ministry of Finance, Economic Planning and Development. Honourable members, I take the view that such a statement coming from a honourable member without confirming his averment shows an utter lack of seriousness. Order! Order! Honourable Juman, I'll take you to task if you continue. Honourable members, I take the view that such a statement coming from a honourable member without confirming his averments shows an utter lack of seriousness. Moreover, the said statement is misleading and is tantamount to a gratuitous accusation of the connivance between the Speaker and members of the government to the detriment of members of the opposition regarding access to committee rooms of the National Assembly. Honourable members, in view of the seriousness of the unfounded allegations against the chair, not worthy of a honourable member, I cannot allow the matter to go unchecked. I cannot allow the matter to go unchecked, silent. Failing which, I cannot allow the matter to go unchecked, and I am inviting the Honourable Juman to make amends and tender his unreserved apologies to the House, failing which, I will have no alternative than to order the honourable member out of the chamber.
Not even during sitting. Not even during the sitting.
Are you tendering apologies?
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the
No,
opportunity.
I have given instruction.
He met the free,
I am on my feet.
the meeting.
I am on my feet. I am on my feet. I have given you instruction to tender apologies. If you don't tender apologies, you'll have to withdraw from the chamber. So I am ordering you, you're not tendering apologies, I'm ordering you to withdraw from the House. And if you insist to stay in the House, I'll have to name you. You have already been ordered out. If you continue, I'll name you instantly.
But you don't hear others insulting him. You don't hear others insulting him. You don't hear others insulting him.
So let's continue.
Papers have been laid. Question.
Confirm réunion là.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Now, my private notice question.
Order! Order, what is happening?
My private notice question
They have fire under their butt.
is addressed. Oh, I say.
Honorable, excuse me. Honorable Mohammed.
Yes.
You're trying to provoke the chair to ask you to withdraw from the chamber. You're coming to the chamber after long, so be careful.
I was hoping that
Respect the chair and the authority of the chair.
I'm asking the chair to see others insulting people in the opposition.
You don't have to instruct the chair.
No, I'm requesting.
And if you continue along that line, I'll ask you to withdraw right now.
You have to be quiet then.
Keep quiet. You better keep quiet. Honorable Leader of the Opposition.
Honorable Mr. Speaker, I'm starting at 11:38. Please take note. To ask your doctor, the Honorable Minister of Health and Wellness, whether in regard to the state of hygiene and cleanliness in public hospitals, he will state if consideration will be given for the setting up of a select committee of the House to report on the current state thereof and propose remedial actions therefore.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in regard to the current state of hygiene and cleanliness in public hospitals, there has been no complaints. Since 1 week, the hospital services, in particular warehousing of food items, have been brought in the limelight by some honorable members of the opposition who intentionally, deliberately, and without authorization gained premeditated access to restricted areas of Dr. A.G. Jitu Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, on 30th October 2023, one member of the opposition trespassed into a restricted area and acceded to the general store of Dr. Jitu Hospital and used a mobile phone to make a video of the stored commodities therein with live comments, allegations, and posted same on social media. He was later joined by another member of the opposition who in turn made another live video making several allegations as well, wherein he informed that he has received several complaints from patients about the quality of food being served in Jitu Hospital. To dissipate any doubts in the interest of the public, the regional health director on the same day held a press conference. He stated that no official complaint about the quality of food served to patients or staffs who are entitled the same has been officially reported. The senior catering officer and the manager procurement and supply officer also reported that all food prepared or subjected to stringent hygienic condition and control. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is clear that these honorable members are deliberately inducing the public in error by making false and malicious allegations, sapping the confidence and trust of the public purely for political mileage and gains. They also live streamed in their video images of expired food items in one of stores that are illegally accessed out of the 7 existing. It's true that there were some expired items temporarily kept in the said store awaiting proper disposal as per established procedures and protocols. Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to inform the House about the disgusting roasted tomato cans of 2.5 kilograms capacity which have been focused upon in the video clip. Unfortunately, I don't have the right to show the photograph of these clips. These cans were empty, roasted, and purposely. Yes,
Please
Mr.
reply.
Speaker.
It is entirely different question. I will show
Let me
you.
rule on this point of order. Quiet. I am on my feet. I am on my feet. No voice to be heard. I am on my feet. I am ruling on this point of order. You put a question. The minister forming part of the executive, answerable, accountable to the legislative, is replying. And the question, the reply has been prepared by his officers and himself maybe. So we should, in a parliamentary democracy, allow the minister to reply. Quiet, reply.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, to point out, in his question, it is in regard to current.
Now, I am warning you for the last time. You are disrupting the procedure of the House. Continue.
Sir, this reply is in regard to the current state of hygiene and cleanliness. I have to point out what been said. So, what has been said, allow me, Mr. Speaker, to inform the House about the disgusting roasted tomato cans of 2.5 kilograms capacity that have been focused upon in the video clip. These cans were empty, roasted, and purposefully turned upside down to create the impression of that they were full and be used eventually for patients' consumption. Mr. Speaker, sir, just imagine how vile and malicious the intentions of those protagonists are. I will continue. Let me inform the House that these cans of 2.5 kilograms capacity each have never been procured by neither the G2 hospital nor in the health institution of my ministry. My ministry always procure cans of 425 grams, the small one, never the 2.5 kilograms capacity. Now the question is, Mr. Speaker, sir, how come these empty and rusted cans have landed in the store of G2 hospital? What is most suspicious is these empty cans and used up cans were pictured upside down. You know, they are so good at making videos to project and simulate that these cans were full and available for use. I'll stop like I won't say more than that. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, regarding le chouchou, la menthe, I don't know whether Cotomili was there. These pictures do not correspond to the vegetables item in our hospital. It's important to give this information. My officers have already made a statement to the police on the matter and the inquiry is on. Mr. Speaker, sir, my ministry operates 5 regional hospitals, 6 specialized hospitals, 2 district hospitals, 2 community hospitals, 7 medical clinics, 19 area health centers, and 113 community health centers, as well as 13 health officers. Ministry caters for more than 70% of the healthcare needs of the population. For the period of 2022, there were around 8.9 million attendances, 166,000 more admissions, and more than 49,000 surgeries. on a daily basis, around 2,600 patients stay in public hospital. Thus, over 10,000 meals are prepared, both for patients and staff, providing 24 hours and 3 times per day, including breakfast, lunch, dinner, and in between tea breaks. Furthermore, I would like to wish to highlight that in 2022, some 929,000 patients' days were recorded in hospital, which means that nearly 3 million meals were prepared for patients for a year. Additionally, in respect to hygiene and cleanliness, linen services were provided for those patients together with washroom, bathroom facilities. I hope these honorable members one day will go, because they are expert in doing video clips, will go in toilets and also make some live comments. Mr. Speaker, sir, the internal cleaning of hospital is carried out by senior attendants supervised by ward managers and head of sections. Each at the health centers, cleanliness is carried out by handy workers, general workers, posted thereat, supervised by charge nurses. The maintenance team, posted at regional hospital, responsible for overall minor repairs and maintenance of hospital infrastructure. They are also responsible for general upgrading of works. Rare are the countries which are able to offer free healthcare services at point of delivery, including transport, medication, consultation, investigation, and treatment. Mr. Speaker, sir, in our current state of hygiene and cleanliness are being challenged, if our current state of hygiene and cleanliness are being challenged, surely this would have been impacted on our key health indicators, such as improved life expectancy at birth, decrease in infant mortality rate, increase in bed occupancy. Mr. Speaker, sir, however, my ministry does receive complaints through different channels, namely complaint desk at the level of hospital, citizen support portal, and on a daily basis on private radios and social media. And these complaints are attended to promptly. I'm tabling the list of complaints for the year 2022 for the hospital services, which can be categorized into different treatment, human resources, drug, and infrastructure. In regard to bugs in public hospital, in the past, complaints were received from our hospital regarding our staff regarding probable infestation of bed bugs in wards. As per well-established protocol, Vector Biology and Control Division of Ministry is immediately informed to conduct entomological survey to assess presence of species and density of bed bugs. In parallel, Public Health and Food Safety Inspectorate conducts environmental health survey to check on the extent of infestation, harborages, and further course of action which entails spraying with residual insecticide are immediately taken. Furthermore, infested mattresses, beddings are immediately disposed or followed by treatment of the infected area. 10 days later, after 10 days, the entomological department carries another survey to check on efficacy of treatment applied. Mr. Speaker, I have to inform the House that my ministry leaves no stone unturned to ensure safe environment for patients admitted as well as staff involved. The Rodent Control Unit of my ministry carries regular inspection and site visit at all hospitals and health institutions. The frequency of visits varies from daily to thrice weekly, depending on requirements of hospital and health institution. As regards storage of pharmaceutical products, same are stored in ambient temperature, except drugs such as vaccine, insulin, and ampoules, which are stored in temperature ranging 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. With regard to monitoring of cleanliness and sanitation, from January 2023 up to date, a total of 232 visits have been carried out in all hospitals, wards, yards, surroundings, and other units, and 34 statements of nuisances have been issued by the Public Health and Food Safety Inspectorate to ensure remedial actions are taken. Furthermore, 159 inspections have been carried out in various catering units in our hospital, which led to seizure of more than 350 kilograms of foodstuff. 138 samples were taken for microbiological analysis. All were found to be within prescribed microbiological standards. Mr. Speaker, sir, moreover, Infection Prevention and Control Unit is another crucial set of practices aimed at preventing the spread of infectious diseases with communities, healthcare facilities and various public settings. Ministry has strived to reduce hospital-acquired infection by implementing the National Action Plan on IPC. Moreover, training was provided to more than 8,000 staff on infection prevention and control. Improvements in IPC scores have been noted. Mr. Speaker, sir, if health services delivered in our hospital are so full as depicted by some of the other side of the House, then how do we explain these? The management of COVID-19 in Mauritius has been commended by international front, yes, by the WHO and the IMF. In 2021, Ministry obtained the Gold Award in Public Service Excellence Award for managing COVID-19 pandemic. In 2022, Ministry obtained the Gold Award in promoting an agile and responsive public service. The Coronary Care Unit of G2 Hospital has been awarded, winning the NPCC 2019 award, African Kaizen Special Award in 2021, Gold Award of the Public Service Excellence in 2022. Director General of WHO also congratulated Mauritius for the Presidential Award for the effective organizational change for the national COVID-19 vaccination program. In addition, Spine Unit of Victoria Hospital was also awarded the Silver Award of the Public Service Excellence in 2022. In a statement, the Director General said, Mauritius is a role model, not only for Africa and for small island development states, but also for the world. Mr. Speaker, sir, in light of what I have elaborated, I will leave it à qui de droit to decide whether a select committee is warranted. I would like to remind the leader of the opposition that such powers to institute a select committee is a prerogative of the Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, à qui profite le crime? Il est évident que l'opposition est en chute libre avec le verdict du Privy Council. Elle veut détourner l'attention de cette gifle magistrale qu'elle a reçue. En faisant de la démagogie, elle veut aussi détourner l'attention du public de ce qui s'est passé à la citadelle. Ce qui est dommage, c'est qu'une partie de la presse joue le jeu de l'opposition, mais la population n'est pas dupe. Ce qui est malheureux, Monsieur le Président, c'est qu'en agissant ainsi, l'opposition est en train de saper la confiance des Mauriciens dans les services hospitaliers alors que celle-ci fait partie intégrante du traitement. Je laisse à la population le soin de juger qui sert mieux son pays, les membres de l'opposition ou les 14 000 hommes et femmes qui travaillent dans la santé publique pour sauver des vies. Et pour terminer, je pense à tous les patients bénéficiaires de notre système de santé que je remercie pour leur confiance et pour lesquels tous les employés de mon ministère travaillent nuit et jour. Merci.
Mr. Speaker, I will turn the Minister and his reply upside down. I to ask the Minister whether he is aware of
this one.
Internal audit
it is
report.
Upside down.
An internal audit report. An internal audit report dated 11th July 2023. You are aware of that? Good. And an exit meeting chaired by your Permanent Secretary, Mr. DC. In that report, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the Minister whether he has read it and he has seen that the internal audit report looks at Dr. G2 Hospital and Brown Sekar mainly, talks of deplorable conditions in wards, huge wastage of food, chaotic situation, rotten foodstuffs, fresh food not being served to the public. Is he aware of that report? And why that report? That report was submitted.
Honorable Mohammed, I'm warning you. Order. I've already warned you twice.
It's not parliamentary.
Last time.
It's not parliamentary.
Last warning.
That report was dated 11th July, and the exit meeting by your permanent secretary, attended by some 30 other people, was in September 2023. Are you aware of that? And if so, why did you not disclose this to the House today?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am fully aware of all audit reports. It is my duty to take all the audit reports and to improve on that. I'm sure honorable member he also knows what has been the reply of the ministry to the audit report. The audit can make any reports, it is their right, but it's also the officer's right to give a reply to these audit reports. And I'm sure that the replies, we do agree that at times, yes, but not what you said. It's been as if the whole system, so all the patients have been provided with whatever. It's all, I totally agree. In fact, it's good that we've seen expired items, because if we don't use expired items, so it will be there, and you have to undertake procedures to get rid of them. It is, this is completely clear.
Your permanent secretary in that meeting took note that there was huge wastage of food because patients were not being consulted for the meals, which is contrary to practice. Are you aware of this?
Totally.
Huge
Mr.
wastage
Speaker,
of
sir.
food. He said yes. He said yes. He said yes.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Let the minister reply.
reply
You
to
already
this
put a
part.
question. Let the minister. Let him reply.
Now I will reply to
You
this
keep
part.
quiet. You reply.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Keep quiet.
This, the honorable leader of opposition is stating that food being wasted. Totally agreeable. Because the quantity of food is being prepared based on a formula. And it is obvious. Patients are kept fasting in ward. They don't take food. Patients being discharged before the time that, there always been the preparation being done in the morning, and patients being discharged at times even in the morning or afternoon, there would be wastage of food. There is no system, there is no formula that the exact quantity of food can be prepared, and that is totally agreeable that there would be. But what is more important, patients are being provided food, quality of food. Patients are being provided safe food. Patients are being provided food that has been freshly cooked. For the wastage, I totally agree with you, Leader of Opposition.
Continue, therefore, because you did not consult the patients. That's why you have huge wastage. Now, on paragraph 2.14, it says this. The committee was informed. Listen to this. The committee was informed that stale leftover food cooked 6 days prior were also found in the BHS. It was understood that fresh food was not being served to patients. Did you read that part also? So why are you...
Mr. Speaker, sir, totally that all the recommendations of the audit has been taken care of. See, 80% of all recommendations of internal control are being implemented. There are at some places, as I said earlier in my reply, to have 10,000 food cooked on a daily basis for the staff, for the patient. Obviously, it is totally correct to say that the audit has to do its report and the ministry has to implement the recommendation of the audit. But this doesn't mean that, Mr. Speaker, sir, we take political mileage through all these officers who are working, from the store manager to the cook, to those who are in charge of the catering unit, and now to come and blame them for whatever they have been doing.
Mr. Speaker, it is your Mrs. officers which are giving us these reports because they discussed it with you. That is the truth. Mr. Speaker, I'll continue with the report. It says here, Mr. Speaker, according to surveys carried out, hygienic conditions of wards was deplorable. Now, this report was dated 11th July. The exit meeting by your PS was a few weeks ago in September. You already took more than 2 months to even consider the report, and nothing has been done since that time. Nothing.
Mr. Speaker, sir.
Are you aware?
What
is that fool talking about question?
Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me reply this part.
Leader of the opposition,
Yes.
bear with me. I find the House a bit unruly today. I'm giving a warning, both sides of the House. We are doing serious business today. And Leader of the opposition, your question should be specific.
Are you aware that your own ministry, this is not the report of the Director of Audit, this is your own ministry, says that your own wards, hygienic conditions was deplorable, that food served in the wards were cold. Section 2.9 of the report.
Mr. Speaker, sir, that's what the ministry has to do. Whenever you have a report from the audit, the ministry doesn't work in the hospital, and the food is being prepared on a daily basis. The hygiene, it is on a daily basis, and wherever we have been pointed out that the hygiene is not proper, the food is not proper, my question is, has the ministry taken action or not? Obviously, the ministry is taking action. It's going to be as such, and we also, it's not only to wait for audit reports, our IPCs, the sanitary divisions, do take continuously monitoring whatever be the hygiene and the sanitary conditions of the hospital, of the ward. This is an ongoing process, and we have to admit that we have to continue doing it. We have to be continuously doing all the improvement and the monitoring of these services. This is totally normal. And even if I will give you examples of what's happening in private clinics, but that has to be, it doesn't mean that we should blame private clinics or any other institution, but it's a question of hygiene, food items. It's a continuous process, and we have to continuously implement, whether it is recommendation from the hospital, and ministry has to act. Obviously, the ministry will take the time to act, but action is being taken. And we will keep on having, Mr. Speaker, sir, complaints, be it from wards, from toilets, if I don't know whether they're also expert in these, and then from all the different services, because it is being used by public, and how these services have been used. So it's not a question of blaming who and when. It's a question of how do we address these complaints and what the minister has engaged in, how to address in these complaints.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the Honourable Minister whether he read the report in page IR report, Internal Audit Report, 8.2 section. It says on rotten vegetables, page 21, in the catering unit, vegetables were found rotten and not fresh. Rotten ladies' fingers, and margots, aubergine, and cucumbers, all rotten. Onions had already sprouted. This is in your hospital 3 months ago. And the pictures that have been taken and put on the web by my colleagues, and rightly so, were a few days ago. That proves beyond doubt that you have done absolutely nothing after this report on G2 and Brown Séquard took place.
Let the minister reply on
Yes,
this.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Vegetables are being delivered directly in the catering unit, in the kitchen, on a daily basis. The volume of vegetables being procured is as per the conditions of the contract. It would be obvious, even in your kitchen, Mr. Speaker, sir, in all our fridge, there are vegetables that has gone, it's already been start decomposing, something like that. Mr. Speaker, sir, and for that volume, and if these vegetables, before sending these vegetables to Moshiko's, the officers, it will be, in fact, that should be, we have to be reassured, because these vegetables, if they are left there, even if you've taken pictures, it means that these vegetables have not been cooked. What you have been saying, these vegetables have been left over there. Obviously, it takes its time to get rid of these vegetables. In fact, that's a good thing that we've seen these vegetables, and you will keep on seeing these vegetables, because vegetables being procured on a daily basis, and there would be a percentage, a quantity that will be, start getting, will get rotten, and that will be disposed. In fact, I think it's a good thing, leader of the opposition has pointed out, that you can see those vegetables because the catering unit, the officers will tell you that these vegetables, when they are rotten, it will be meant for disposal.
Page 24 of the report. 16.5 kilos of bread songe. You're a bit like bread songe yourself.
Maybe.
Prepared 6 days ago. This might imply that fresh food.
Leader of the opposition.
Yes.
What is that word bread?
I withdraw it. Don't worry about it.
Leader of the opposition. Leader of the opposition.
What is it?
You have to apologize.
I apologize. No problem. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the Minister, page 24. 16.5 kilos of bread songe. Prepared 6 days ago. And this is what your audit report says. This might imply that fresh food was not being supplied to patients because you found 16.5 kilos of bread songe and 85 kilos of ladies' fingers which had been kept for 5 days and already rotten. So your own internal audit says that this would imply that fresh food was not being supplied to patients.
Let the minister reply.
Mr. Speaker, sir, vegetables are kept in cold rooms in our hospital, in our catering unit. I will ask myself, in my fridge, there are vegetables kept for 1 week that we do consume, and then my wife, after 1 week, do prepare these food with these vegetables. So if vegetables being kept properly in the storeroom and cooked after 5 days, if the catering unit, the in charge, would have tell you that these vegetables are rotten, it would have been left over there. And if after 5 days we do cook whatever vegetables you have mentioned, unless anybody in our house, they don't cook food vegetables after 5 days. I haven't seen anything like this as a sanitary protocol that fresh vegetables, whenever they are bought, kept properly in proper storeroom, that should not be used for cooking after 5 days. If this report can be submitted to me, I'll be happy, and that we will put it in the Food Act, that everybody, whenever you purchase vegetable 5 days back from your market and so on, after 5 days we've got to discard it. So this is the reply to you.
Mr. Speaker, it is his own report. I have no need to submit.
Time is over. Time is over. Time is over. Honourable members, the table has been advised that PQ B1403 will be replied by the Honourable Prime Minister, time permitting. PQ you need, if the House needs more time to explain themselves or whatever, we are here. Leader of the opposition, try to be polite. I did not say exchange. I did not say exchange. I said something else, not exchange. Oh. Try to be polite. I didn't say exchange. I said explain. Order. Order. You're becoming mad. Go and check hands off. Leader of the opposition. You are on slippery ground. The table has been advised that PQB 1403 will be replied by the Honourable Prime Minister, time permitting. PQ A10 has been transferred to the Honourable Prime Minister. Honourable Duval.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, B1380.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the Mauritius Police Force has a unique specificity because of its diverse roles and functions. Our police force is one among the few police organizations in the world which is responsible for both internal and territorial security, which encompass crime investigation, combating drugs, border control, traffic policing, responding to disasters, conducting driving tests, and undertaking precautions, amongst others. I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that in order to fulfill its mandate and achieve the different objectives as mentioned earlier, the police is organized in different adjuncts, including the regular police posted in police stations, amongst others, Special Mobile Force, the Special Supporting Unit, the National Coast Guard, the Police Helicopter Squadron, the Maritime Air Squadron, the Anti-Drug and Smuggling Unit, the Central Crime Investigation Department, Traffic Branch, Emergency Response Service, Brigade pour la Protection de la Famille, Police de l'Environnement, and Passport and Immigration Office. Each police adjunct has specific roles and is responsible to provide specific services to the community. Assuming such diverse set of roles and responsibilities hitherto requires the police to have a flexible and multi-skilling human workforce to deliver the highest quality of service to the community. Given the complex nature of policing, police officers require appropriate knowledge, skills, and attitudes to face the actual and future challenges. These are inculcated to them through a comprehensive training and development program. I am further informed that training for police officers of all ranks in the Mauritius Police Force is ongoing both locally and abroad. The training roadmap comprises inter alia the following: foundation training, the on-the-job training, continuation training, refresher courses, periodic short-term courses, generic courses, and specialized or advanced training. As such, beside a standard basic training on police duties, laws and evidence, and general administration, whenever police officers are posted to any unit, they have to acquire specific skills through various on-the-job trainings, coaching, mentoring, so that they are properly equipped to deliver the best quality service to the public within the specific unit where they are posted to. On-the-job training is based on the principle of learning by doing. It is imparted to employees to help them familiarize with the grades and overall functioning of the concerned organization where they are posted. It is a cost-effective and result-oriented approach to acquire new competencies and skills needed for a job in a real working environment under the guidance of a supervisor, manager, or another knowledgeable employee. Hence, on-the-job training for police officers is a crucial part of their preparation for law enforcement duties and is an ongoing process for their professional development. It typically involves a combination of classroom instructions and practical field experience. The undermentioned areas are, inter alia, the key components of the on-the-job training for police officers. One is field training. As part of their training, new recruits as well as newly posted officers are paired with experienced officers. They observe and participate in real-life policing situations to enhance their knowledge, gain practical experience. 2, learning the established policies of the Mauritius Police Force. Regular lectures are carried out at station, division, and force levels for all police officers with regard to learning the specific policies, procedures, and standing orders regulating the organization, including rules of conduct, use of force protocols, amongst others. 3, the training on legal matters. Periodical courses are organized for police officers posted to division, branches, units at the level of the police training school and divisional branch training units on laws and regulations that they are expected to enforce, including upholding of human rights. 4, physical fitness, regular physical training, including officer safety and self-defense, are dispensed to police officers posted to branches and specialized units such as SMF, SSU, and GIPM to ensure that the officers are in good shape and are able to handle the physical demands of their jobs. 5, firearms training. All police officers receive training on the safety rules and handling of firearms. They also participate in practical firing exercise, and for such training, the police has set up the Mauritius Police Force shooting range at SMF Rodrigues, which is a secure and certified safe live fire indoor shooting range. Additionally, an advanced weapons stimulated is being implemented at SMF Complex Vakwa for firearms training using 3D visualization software. 6, crisis management and response. Officers are trained to handle various situations ranging from routine traffic stops to disaster management, including effecting arrest, public order policing, responding to emergencies, and providing first aid and simulation exercise on the above are organized at divisional and branch level at least twice yearly. 7, community policing. To build positive relationships with the community, designated police officers undergo tailor-made courses on community policing, which may include topics like crime prevention, conflict resolution, customer care, interpersonal communication, courtesy, amongst others. 8, report writing. All police officers are trained on report writing for documenting of incidents and investigations. And 9, continuation training. Ongoing training and education are dispensed on regular basis to keep officers updated on the latest techniques, technologies, and legal developments. For the period 2015 to date, police officers have benefited from 711,567 training courses organized and conducted in divisions, branches, and at the police training school. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am further informed by the Commissioner of Police that in its police strategic plan 2022-25, the police has identified 9 priorities pillars which serve as a roadmap to improve the level of service delivery, whilst at the same time enhancing the organization's effectiveness in addressing policing challenges in this increasingly digital world. Thus, under Priority 6 of the Police Strategic Plan, strengthening human resource management, training, and capacity building is one of the key components. For that purpose, a host of strategies have been elaborated to ensure that the police officers are equipped with the right skills to meet the job demands, which are inter alia as follows: creating a dedicated component to carry out research, design, and evaluate training in the Mauritius Police Force, developing training syllabi on emerging threats in consultation with the appropriate stakeholders, developing a mechanism for evaluating the quality of training in order to engender a learning culture. In the force, scholarships will be offered in suitable courses locally and abroad for interested officers, and adopting the concept of open online course to all personnel. Furthermore, police has, through its various reform programs, continuously revised the training curricula for police officers by adopting a systematic approach to training with a training needs analysis to identify new training methodologies to meet the gaps identified in competencies and skills and to equip the workforce to face emerging threats. The last training needs analysis exercise for the whole force was carried out from May to June 2022 at the Police Training School, following which several courses have been identified and are being run. Moreover, to ascertain that such exercise captures the latest trends in policing at the international and regional levels, be it emerging threats, modern crimes, latest advancement and technology to combat crimes in general, foreign law enforcement agencies were solicited to conduct needs analysis study for the police with a view to identify areas of cooperation in terms of technical assistance and capacity building. As such, experienced police officers from the Singapore Police Force conducted a needs assessment study in September 2019. 2 senior police officers from the United Kingdom National Police Chiefs Council undertook a needs analysis in April 2022, which resulted in the organization of free trainings on cybercrime, cryptocurrency, crime investigations, and crime intelligence conducted locally by resource persons from the UK Police from 27th January to 19th of March 2023 for the benefit of 201 police officers. To further ensure that a police officer performs his or her job efficiently and effectively, the service of other local training institutions and law enforcement agencies like the University of Mauritius, the Civil Service College, and ICAC have been approached to dispense sponsored training on non-policing matters to police officers. Thus, 314 police officers have followed a degree course in police duties, 525 attended a certificate in police leadership and management, 3,495 attended a certificate in police duties, and 3,500 in IT at University of Mauritius for the period 2000 to 2021 under this sponsored training scheme. I am also informed by the Commissioner of Police that Mauritius, being a member of several regional and international organizations such as SADC, Southern Africa Regional Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization, and the United Nations, as well as other friendly countries under bilateral agreements, have also provided police officers the opportunity to attend general as well as specialized training abroad. For the period 2015 to date, 2,994 trainings, workshops, and courses in India, USA, France, China, Egypt, Seychelles, South Africa, Botswana, and Réunion Island under different education programs were attended by police officers. For instance, the police is offered numerous training opportunities every year under the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation in recognized training establishment in India, including prestigious academies such as the Indian Military Academy, Indian Naval Academy, Indian Police Academy, training institutions of the Indian Air Force, and other professional schools. The police also interacts with international law enforcement agencies such as Interpol, which provides training on regular basis in specific fields locally and abroad. For example, from January 2023 to date, 29 police officers have attended training conducted by resource persons from Interpol. Consideration is also being given to second police officers to the Interpol for first-hand training and to gather experience thereat. They will gain and share experience with other police agencies from Interpol's prestigious network of 195 countries. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is important to note that the training of police officers is not limited to the normal classroom setting. Regularly, police officers of different adjuncts participate in large-scale joint bilateral, regional, and international training exercises, such as Cutlass Express exercise, which is conducted by the United States Naval Forces for the benefits of African countries, including Mauritius, Comoros, Kenya, Madagascar, Seychelles, Djibouti. The last exercise was conducted from 6th to 17th of March 2023. Papong exercise conducted with the collaboration of France to strengthen maritime security. The last exercise took place from 10th to 15th of April 2022, and Phoenix exercise organized jointly by the Force Armée de la Zone Sud de l'Océan Indien and Mauritius Police Force, with counterparts from the different regional countries. The last exercise was held in Mauritius 5th to 8th of December 2022. Additionally, with regard to Agalega, a memorandum of understanding was signed between the government of Mauritius and the government of the Republic of India for inter alia, the improvement in the sea and air transportation facilities at Agalega. The MOU also provides for the government of India to facilitate technical training in Mauritius and in India to police officers deputed on the island. Mr. Speaker, sir, in an endeavor to give more structured facilities for the training of the police, the construction of a disciplined forces academy costing around 2 billion rupees, financed by India under a line of credit, is being implemented. The academy has been designed to accommodate modern training facilities to cope with the new demands and challenges. It will also enable the harmonization of the recruitment and training of police officers, fire and rescue officers, and prison officers. Training would continue to play a major role in capacity building and the overall development of police officers, and would be an ongoing process. It is fundamental to match individuals' competencies with the jobs they have to do and bridge competency gaps for current and future roles. My government is committed to have a fully trained police force, and thus, since 2015 to date, some 81 million rupees have been allocated for the training of our police officers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I thank the Prime Minister for this very comprehensive reply. In his reply, actually, the Prime Minister mentioned that regular physical training is provided to specialized units like SSU, SMF, and JIPM. Can he state whether such initiative will be taken to provide regular physical training to all police officers in view ensuring that they are physically fit at all times? Thank you.
Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed that the training imparted to police officers, in fact, of course, does not cover all the officers in the force. In fact, I asked the same question to the Commissioner of Police, and I have been informed that serious consideration is being given to provide regular physical training to all police officers to ensure that they are in good shape and physically fit. However, police officers who are overage and suffering from medical problems, obviously they would be exempted.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, can the Prime Minister state whether successful completion of training by any police officer entails monetary reward or constitute an advantage for promotion?
Well, I'm informed that they do not entail any monetary compensation. But however, police officers who succeed and secure, for example, a BSc in police studies at the University of Mauritius, they are entitled to 2 increments in their basic salaries. And I stated in my reply the possibility of linking promotional aspects with courses undertaken and educational qualifications obtained, of course, will be examined, because that will be also a motivation for those officers to follow training.
Next question.
Thank you, Speaker, sir. B1381.
Mr. Speaker, sir, alongside being a caring government towards the victims of the drug scourge, my government is ruthless towards the drug traffickers who are destroying the lives of our youth. The massive seizures of drugs amounting to 15.5 billion rupees since 2015, and as many as 23,668 arrests, speak volumes of the crusade we are leading against the drug peddlers. In regard to the question, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that on Tuesday, 3rd of October 2023, at about 14:15 hours, based on reliable information and by virtue of a search warrant, a team of officers of the Anti-Drug Smuggling Unit from Eastern Division proceeded to the residence of one Mr. M.R.G.K.C.T.M.K. at Colville Street, Union Park. His premises, comprising his concrete house and a greenhouse situated adjacent to his house, were searched in his presence. During the search, the ADSU officers found and secured the following. 1. 4 plastic bags containing around 7.347 kilos of dried leaves suspected to be cannabis. 2. A plastic bag containing 9,166 suspected cannabis seeds. 3. 2 electronic scales bearing traces of cannabis leaves. And 4. A sum of 11,100 rupees suspected to be proceeds from sale of dangerous drugs. On the same day, Mr. M.R.G.K.C.T.M.K. was arrested and brought to ADSU office at Flak District Headquarters together with the exhibits for investigation. The street value of the dangerous drugs secured was estimated at 9,733,000 rupees. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am further informed by the Commissioner of Police that on Wednesday, 4th of October 2023, Mr. M.R.G.K.C.T.M.K. was brought before the Kanpur District Court, where he was provisionally charged with the following offences in breach of the Dangerous Drugs Act. 1. Possession of cannabis for the purpose of selling with an averment of trafficking. 2. Possession of cannabis seeds for the purpose of cultivation. And 3. Money laundering. In view of the seriousness of the offences, police objected to his release on bail, and he was remanded to police cell up to Tuesday, 10th of October 2023. On Tuesday, 10th October 2023, the accused appeared before the court and he was remanded anew to police cell up to Monday, 16th of October 2023. Given that on the same day, there was still objection to his release on bail, he was remanded to jail. The inquiry is ongoing. I am further informed that Mr. M.R.G.K.C.T.M.K. is an activist of the Mauritius Labour Party and is known to have formed part of the private security team of Mr. Patrick Asiavaden. Mr. Speaker, sir, my government has been relentlessly fighting the drug scourge, while the previous government has been tolerating the drug barons who have been allowed to flourish their illegal trade, much to the detriment of innocent people. We are all aware of the number of people close to the Labour Party who have been involved in drug cases. One of them has recently been found guilty by the assizers for drug dealing on 19th of October 2023.
Behave yourself.
This explains why the former Prime Minister has systematically refused to set up a commission of inquiry on drug trafficking. Combating the drug scourge is a tough task, but as a responsible government, we proved by our actions and the results registered that we mean business. My government has and will continue to strive harder to combat the drug mafia. Necessary measures and initiatives are being taken by relevant authorities at all levels to eliminate this problem. My government has also invested massively in the procurement of tools and equipment to assist departments such as the Anti-Drug and Smuggling Unit and the Mauritius Revenue Authority. Some of the measures being implemented by the police force at local, regional and international level are: 1. Regular intelligence-led crackdown operations are being carried out across the island. 2. Use of safe city cameras for monitoring the movements of drug traffickers and drug peddlers. 3. A risk-based approach has been adopted at points of entry, such as airport and port, to prevent the entry of dangerous drugs in the country. 4. The movements of pleasure craft are being closely monitored by the National Coast Guard in collaboration with the Mauritius Tourism Authority and the Mauritius Port Authority to prevent the entry of illegal drugs in the island. 5. Amendment has been brought to the Road Traffic Act to prevent drivers, riders from driving under influence of intoxicating substances. 6. Financial investigations are being carried out into drug dealing, trafficking cases in order to prosecute dealers and traffickers for money laundering. And to this end, the police are working in close collaboration with other agencies such as the Independent Commission Against Corruption, Mauritius Revenue Authority, Integrity Reporting Services Agency, Financial Intelligence Unit, the Asset Recovery Investigation Division, and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to forfeit the proceeds of such crime and unexplained wealth. 7. Aggressive sensitization campaigns are being carried out by ADSU, Educational Cell, Crime Prevention Unit, Brigade pour la Protection de la Famille, to raise awareness on the ill effects of illicit drugs. 8. The police have established formal, informal contacts and agreements with friendly countries in the region for sharing intelligence on drug traffickers. 9. The National Central Bureau, Interpol, in collaboration with the Attorney General Office, assists in police investigation for obtaining information by way of mutual legal assistance. And 10. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime provides facilities in terms of training and equipment for enhancing the capacity building of police officers, particularly ADSU personnel, to effectively combat drugs. In addition to the measures that I've mentioned, the agreement signed with the Government of India on the infrastructural projects in Agalega caters for the implementation of measures to promote, protect, and safeguard our maritime security needs in areas such as counter-piracy, counter-terrorism, counter-narcotics, and human trafficking, amongst others. Mr. Speaker, sir, with the objective to mobilize and create awareness among the population on the dangers and risks of drug use and to promote the prevention of drug abuse, my office launched a national campaign against drugs entitled Unis contre la drogue in August this year. A first community event was organized at Suyak Youth Hub in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Sports and Recreation, whereby some 100 youth were gathered to reflect and discuss on drug-related thematic questions. I also engaged personally with the youth to discuss drug-related issues. Similar activities are being carried out in other locations around the island, targeting primarily the youth as well as other members of the civil society. The national campaign also comprises an island-wide communication strategy, including billboards, social media, radio, TV, and newspapers, amongst others. Furthermore, other ministries, such as the Ministry of Education, Tertiary Education, Science and Technology, the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Sports and Recreation, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness are also contributing massively in this combat through the implementation of several measures in the field of prevention, treatment, and aftercare. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me emphasize once more our determination and resolve to dismantle the drug networks in our country and region, and accordingly, we are unflinchingly pursuing our unwavering fight against drug traffickers and their accomplices. Thank you.
Time is over. Honourable members, the table had been advised that PQ B 1394 will be replied by Honourable Minister of Energy and Public Utilities. PQ B 1417 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Labour, Human Resource Development and Training. Also, PQ B 1384, 1386 and 1387 have been withdrawn. Now I'll call Honourable Tool.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. B1389.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to point out that the region around Moselle-Marafré, including Le Hochet and Terre Rouge, has been declared flood-prone area by the Land Drainage Authority. Accordingly, appropriate mitigating measures have been proposed and implemented in the region under the National Flood Management Program to address flooding and flood-related events. In this respect, I'm informed, Mr. Speaker, sir, that a project relating to the clearing and desilting of rivulet de Terre Rouge to the tune of around 11.1 million was completed in August 2022 under the supervision of the National Development Unit. Moreover, the construction of culverts at New Sainte-Marie, Le Hochet, for an amount of 13.3 million, and at Cité-Bicqueterie for an amount of 14 million are nearing completion. That is up to 90% have been completed as at date on both sites. These projects are, like I said, 90% nearing completion. I'm further informed that a project relating to the reconstruction of a culvert at Eugénie Street, Le Hochet, for an amount of 9.7 million, scheduled to start in June 2022, could not be kick-started due to the protests from the inhabitants concerning a traffic diversion scheme which had to be put in place during the implementation phase. So we need to put those type of things on record, Mr. Speaker, sir, because in eventuality of flooding, then you will find some people taking pictures. Mr. Speaker, sir, with a view to bringing a long-term solution and addressing the flooding problem in the region in a holistic manner, the LDA recommended the implementation of a flood mitigation measures at Moselle-Marafré Terre Rouge project. The scope of work for the project comprises, among others, firstly, construction of a cut-off drain upstream of Moselle-Marafré and Le Hochet regions over a stretch of 1,790 meters. Secondly, the construction of covered drains over a length of approximately 225 meters. Thirdly, the construction of a retention pond over a surface area of approximately 100,000 square meters and over a depth of 2.5 meters. And fourth, the milling, reshaping and resurfacing of road over a length of approximately 225 meters. In September 2022, the project has been allocated by the Land Drainage Authority to the Drain Infrastructure Construction Limited, DICL, for implementation. Subsequently, the DICL launched a bidding exercise on the 19th May 2023 with closing date 10th July 2023. I'm informed that 2 bids have been received. I'm further informed that the bids are currently being evaluated. Once the evaluation exercise will be completed, the award of the contract will be set to the successful bidder will be issued shortly after. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Honourable Minister mentioned that 2 projects, namely one at Sainte-Marie and the other one at Briqueterie, are nearing completion. However, is the Honourable Minister aware that there has been considerable delay on these 2 projects and there is currently no ongoing work on site? Can the Honourable Minister inform the House as to why this is such?
Mr. Speaker, sir, yes, the member is right. There has been a delay in that project. In fact, we have had issues, contractual issues, as must say, with the contractor. And finally, we have agreed that the contract has been terminated on these 2 projects. The NDU is in the process of appointing another contractor to do the finishing work on those 2 sites. But currently, what is worth noting is the bridges, the hydraulic capacity is right and should work properly in the eventuality of heavy rainfalls. Thank you.
Next question.
B1390.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the Road Development Authority is responsible for the care and maintenance of the motorways and the main roads. In this respect, its endeavors to provide safe and comfortable mobility across the island to all Mauritian citizens, the economic operators, and the road users at large by developing, preserving, and maintaining a high standard of road network under its purview. The total length of such road is approximately 1,274 kilometers, among which 104 kilometers are classified as motorways, namely M1, M2, and M3, and the others as main roads. As regard to part A of the question, I'm informed that with a view to ensuring vegetation control along the motorways M1, M2, M3, the RDA has following prevailing procurement procedures enlisted the services of competent contractors to carry out works such as trimming of grasses, cutting, pruning of decorative plants, removal of weeds, raking, removing and cutting away of debris and stones, among others. In addition, I'm informed that the NECA, through its cleaning up campaign for motorways M1, M2, has enlisted the services of Mori Facilities Management Company Limited to ensure cleaning both road shoulders of motorways, while the cleaning and maintenance of the central verge rests with the RDA. Subsequently, since May 2023, the NECA, in collaboration with the RDA and other concerned authorities, has embarked on the cleaning exercise on the shoulders of motorways M1 and M2 with the assistance of some 300 cleaning technicians of Mori Facilities Management Company Limited. Mr. Speaker, sir, with regard to part B of the question, in my reply to parliamentary question B544 on 25th May 2021, I informed the House that the embellishment and maintenance of roundabouts on motorways are mostly sponsored by private companies. There are currently 35 roundabouts on motorways M1, M2, M3, out of which 2 are under construction, 2 are being maintained by the Ministry of Environment, while the remaining are maintained by private and state-owned companies under the supervision of the RDA. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are all aware that the world is experiencing the brunt of climate change, and the RDA is accordingly deploying considerable effort to make our road infrastructure greener and more conducive for road users. In fact, as part of the project being implemented, landscaping works are being incorporated in the project requirements in the form of softscaping, that is plantation of low-growing trees, shrubs, decorative plant, scenic features, and grassing on the surplus of land surrounding the road infrastructure, namely adjoining flyovers, roundabout, and bridges. Some example are the flyover at qu'il, flyover at Sorez, flyover at Pont-Fer. Future projects where same are being incorporated are the Great Separated Junction at Wooten, the interchange construction and improvement along M3 and A14 corridor at Eben. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker. May we know from the Honourable Minister what are the procedures involved when allocating contracts for vegetation control along motorways?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank the Honourable Member for this question, and this will also give me the opportunity to enlighten the House and the population about this procedure, as a lot has been said by people of mauvaise foi. The procurement exercise for all projects at the Road Development Authority is carried in strict compliance with the provision of the Public Procurement Act, aiming to make public procurement available competitively to eligible and qualified firms in a transparent and non-discriminatory manner. As regard to the contract control of vegetation along motorways, an open national bidding exercise was launched through notices in local newspapers and the public procurement portal of the Government of Mauritius, where local contractors having the necessary experience in the field of vegetation control were requested to submit their proposal through the e-procurement system. During the bidding process, as per requirement of the bidding document, a pre-bid meeting was held with interested bidders to explain the scope of works to be undertaken, as well as to thrash out ambiguities and respond to any clarification related to the contract. Bid received were opened on the scheduled date by the procurement committee of the RDA after the standard decryption process by bidders. An independent bid evaluation committee, commonly known as BEC, was assigned to evaluate the bids in line with the requirement of the bidding document, the Public Procurement Act, the PPO directives as per those. And after a detailed evaluation of both technical and financial proposal, the BEC recommended the lowest evaluated, but what is more important to understand, the substantially responsive bidder. You might be cheaper, but that doesn't mean you are responsive to what we have requested. The recommendation of the BEC was submitted to the RDA Procurement Committee, which scrutinized the bid evaluation report and in turn submitted its recommendation to the RDA management and board for award of the selected bidder. Once again, once approval of the RDA was obtained, the procurement proceedings were completed and the letter of award issued. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Speaker. Many of our pedestrian bridges are currently in bad state. Can the Minister inform the House what are the measures being taken to remedy same?
Mr. Speaker, sir, we have 20 footbridges have been constructed across motorways M1, M2 at different locations. 3 have been constructed on main roads, while the daily cleaning of the location of the walkways and electrical lighting network are done by the local authorities. The RDA On the other side, he is responsible for the periodic maintenance of the whole structure to ensure that all parts of the footbridge are performing to satisfaction. Consequently, regular inspections are carried out monthly to inspect the structure comprising of ramps, handrail, cladding, and gutters. Footbridges were found to have a high bridge coefficient index warranting a quick rehabilitation plan. In the financial year 2022-2023, 2 footbridges, namely that of Oxenham Footbridge and Canfocro, were completely renovated for the sum of 11 million rupees. For this financial year, 3 footbridges, namely those of Midland, Sorres on M1, and the one on A1 road at Venus, Port-Louis, will be completely renovated for a sum of 15 million rupees. The remaining will be done on a phased manner. And Mr. Speaker, sir, we've just also coming up with a policy where we will eventually consider giving those structures to private companies so that they can renovate and eventually advertise their company on those footbridges. So we are also considering, a bit like the roundabout where we have sponsors, we will also consider having sponsors for those footbridges eventually. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honourable members, I'll suspend the sitting for 1 hour and a half.